The night of October 10th, 1989, the doors of Lincoln Savings closed for the last time. Inside, a wall of paper, mortgage bonds, junk loans, and a $3.4 billion debt pile collapsed like a house of cards. Depositors, many retirees, stared at blank statements. Their savings evaporated in an instant. Regulators rushed in, sealing the vaults, while the media flashed the headline, "Largest S&L failure in history." Within weeks, the Federal Savings and Loan Insurance Fund was drained, and taxpayers were left to foot the bill. The shock rippled through Wall Street, sending bond yields soaring and sparking a nationwide panic about the safety of ordinary people's money. It wasn't just a bank failure. It was a financial earthquake that reshaped banking rules and exposed a web of political corruption that would soon surface. Charles Keating began as a firebrand activist against pornography, publishing newsletters and lobbying Congress in the early 1970s. By the mid-70s, he pivoted to finance, buying a failing savings and loan in California and renaming it Lincoln Savings. He flooded the institution with junk bond loans, promising investors 1.15% returns, far above the market. Keating hired slick marketers, aired TV commercials with his own smiling face, and boasted that his bank was the safest place for your money. At its peak, Lincoln held $4.5 billion in assets and attracted over 100,000 depositors, many retirees seeking high yields. Keating's charisma and relentless fundraising turned him into a political darling, earning dinners with senators and contributions that topped $1 million. He portrayed himself as a savior of the middle class, even as he wagered their savings on high-risk, high-reward deals that no regulator could easily follow. Keating built a maze of numbers that nobody could untangle. First, he transferred failing loans to a shell called American Continental Corporation, then marked them as performing on paper. Next, he puffed up the value of his Pacific savings assets by counting future interest as current cash, inflating the balance sheet by $2.3 billion. He also created a bogus cash flow model that pretended the bank earned $400 million a year from real estate deals that never existed. To keep regulators blind, he shuffled funds through 3 offshore subsidiaries, each reporting a different profit margin. The SEC saw only tidy spreadsheets, while the actual books were full of red ink. By the time auditors asked questions, the numbers had already been moved, hidden, and reclassified. The illusion held until 1989, when a routine audit uncovered the missing $1.5 billion and the house of cards began to crumble. Keating's war chest flowed into Senate lanes like liquid gold. He handed over $1.3 million in cash, checks, and lavish trips to 5 influential senators. In return, they called the regulators, demanding a pause on investigations and urging a bailout for his crumbling Lincoln Savings. The money arrived in staggered installments, each tied to a promise: soften the audit, delay the court order, or simply ignore the mounting red flags. When the regulators pushed back, the senators convened private meetings, whispered assurances, and sent letters to the Office of Thrift Supervision, arguing that Keating's institution was vital to the local economy. Their influence bought him weeks of breathing room, enough for the house of cards to sway a few more investors before the inevitable collapse. But the pressure on the watchdogs was unmistakable, and the trail of contributions left a paper trail that would later scorch the Capitol's reputation. The Senate hearings erupted like a courtroom drama. In 1990, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation filed a civil suit, accusing Keating of falsifying financial statements to hide losses. A jury found him guilty of 14 counts of fraud, racketeering, and conspiracy, sentencing him to 10 years in prison and a $2.6 million fine. Meanwhile, the 5 senators faced ethics investigations. 3 were reprimanded, 1 resigned, and another was cleared after a prolonged inquiry. The S&L bailout itself ballooned to $124 billion, a sum taxpayers still feel today. The scandal forced Congress to pass the Financial Institutions Reform, Recovery, and Enforcement Act, tightening oversight of savings and loans. It also sparked the birth of modern lobbying reforms. Yet the damage lingered. Public trust in Washington sank, and banks tightened credit across the nation, slowing the early 1990s economy. The fallout reminded everyone that money can buy power, but it also buys scrutiny. When the dust settled, regulators tightened rules, but the lesson stays personal. Your bank statements are not just numbers. They're a front line of accountability. Know where your money is invested, especially in funds that claim tax shelters or guaranteed returns. In 1989, Keating moved $1.2 billion through offshore accounts, hidden behind glossy brochures. Today, a single click can expose similar schemes. Use tools like the SEC's Edgar database to verify a firm's filings. Diversify, but verify each piece. A high-yield certificate of deposit may sound safe until you discover it's tied to a failing institution. Remember, influence thrives on opacity. By demanding transparency, asking lenders for audited reports, checking a politician's donation records, you shrink the shadows where fraud hides. Vigilance isn't a one-time act. It's a habit. Build that habit, and the next keystone of a corrupt empire will crumble before it reaches your wallet.